Thank you. We've just completed the Security Council's consideration of on Cyprus. I just wanted to say a few words about that. The Security Council has just renewed the mandate of the UN force in Cyprus for another 6 months until the middle of December this year, and that's a significant decision in itself. We've also encouraged the parties to the negotiation to accelerate their efforts, to intensify their work in order to take advantage of what we see as a unique opportunity to resolve the question of Cyprus, to reunify the island. The basis of this is clearly set out in this and previous Security Council resolutions. A lot of work has been done in the past, but we want to see this opportunity seized, and we will strongly support the leaders on the island in their attempts to do so. There are no deadlines on this, but we all know that these opportunities don't last forever. So when they exist, they need to be seized. We've also asked the Secretary-General in this resolution to start some contingency planning for the UN force in Cyprus. There are pressures on UN peacekeeping across the world, and it's important that every UN mission should be seen to be necessary and effective, and the contingency planning based on what a force would need to do after the end of these settlement negotiations, when we hope a settlement will be in place, is important. And so we've invited the Secretary-General to start that process of contingency planning linked to a settlement in this resolution, and we look forward to seeing his initial conclusions on that, or initial advice on that, in December. But that doesn't mean that there's a deadline on decisions. There isn't. We'll obviously want to wait until the conclusion of these negotiations.
Sir John, is it based on the reviewing, is it based on a settlement or also to a non-settlement?
Well, the resolution is clear. It's based on everybody's hope that there will be a settlement. And if there is a settlement, then the force will be, we expect, asked to play a certain role in overseeing the implementation of that settlement. And that will require a different role, more specific, I expect, detailed mandate. We don't want to speculate about what the situation might be if there's not a settlement, but obviously everyone will have to review their position after the end of these negotiations. But the main priority now is to put every effort into ensuring a success of these negotiations.
The ambassador just now says that there is no need for a review of this peacekeeping force, and they say that there is no change in the kind of situation when the UNFICYP was established in 1960s. But I don't see any conflicts. I mean, I don't see any clashes on the island right now. How do you comment this, and why is that the ambassador is very much concerned about this review process?
Well, I didn't hear everything that Ambassador Hadjimichael had to say, but I think we're all clear about what's in the resolution, and I consulted Ambassador Hadjimichael very closely on the terms of the resolution, and we also consulted the Turkish Cypriot Party on it as well, in the normal way of the way these resolutions are taken forward. I think, as I've said, I think the contingency planning for a settlement is important, and I think the pressures on peacekeeping are also very clear, and so that's what we'll be taking forward.
You are talking about the withdrawal of the foreign forces on the island when you say the contingency plan on the island?
Well, the position, I imagine you're referring to the Turkish forces rather than to the UN forces there. That is one of the subjects which is for discussion in the negotiation in the talks, and I wouldn't like to say exactly where it will come out.
But the contingency plan is within the agreement of the two parties for the unified Cyprus. So maybe the island, all island will be demilitarized, so there will be no need for the Turkish troops, as well as all the other forces.
Well, you're talking about some of the details which have been discussed in the negotiations. The framework for the negotiations is set down in Security Council resolutions. There's been some welcome statements agreed between the leaders. I should emphasize this is a process that is led by the leaders on the island. It's led by Cyprus's own leaders. This is not something which is being driven from outside. We believe that the UN Special Envoy, Mr. Downer, is playing an important role, a valuable role to both sides in these discussions.